obviously in Danbury we have bridges that are not suitable for traffic at all. And I understand that you have been fighting for one particular bridge for years. Could you please talk about that issue?
Well, on the road that I live on, which is Boughton Road, there are 2 bridges on that road. There's one about, I say, 2,000 feet inward, and then there's one on the other side. There's actually a reservoir up in there. There's one on the other side. And what has happened over the years is these bridges have become so degraded that the city has put weight restrictions on the bridges. The problem being with the weight restrictions, A, they're never enforced. Anything and everything goes through it. They're weight restricted at 3 tons, which if you own a Ford F-350 and it's fully loaded, you're at the max that this bridge holds. But yet we have, city trucks that cross over, triaxles crossing over, delivery trucks, garbage trucks, etc. But the bigger problem, which is one of my main pet peeves, is that in between these 2 bridges is a major housing development. And in that housing development, the fire trucks can't get to those houses.
Okay, we're about to show footage of the bridge you were talking about, because me, you, and Al Robinson, we went, and here's the bridge right here. While he's showing it, could you please explain exactly what's going on here?
Well, if you look at the bridge, there was just a picture of the weight limit sign. That was how the city has dealt with the weight issue. There is an incomplete guardrail that for the last year and a half that has no blunted ends, so that if one were to veer slightly off the road, they would impale their vehicle. These cracks actually are showing curbing. This is the newest fix to the area. These cracks here going across the road is the actual bridge, and the bridge is actually dropping and settling. And the little stormwater runoff sediment that was just shown to the left there, that's where the water used to come down the road and then pour off the corner.
Now,
this is the bridge, and this is the repair made by the city.
This piece of plywood?
That piece of pressure treated, along with all the mortaring work. I think they probably built that to keep the walls from pushing in on each other, because I can't see any lateral support there. If you look just in the foreground of it, up in its same area, there's a steel beam there.
Now, this is me right there. Now, this is what they mounted together to hold this bridge. And it's actually shaking. I can shake the thing.
Oh, yeah, it's in there very loosely.
And they expect that to hold the bridge?
Well, I don't know if they expected to hold it. I don't know if it's just to put horizontal pressure or vertical pressure.
That piece of wood on the right-hand side is something that just... What is it?
What's a wedge to keep it from falling down, I would guess. And that's the steel beam that's rotted away that holds up the edge of the bridge that you're moving up and down there.
And it's like, look at that steel.
It's totally gone. That's years of salt and such coming over the edge.
Now,
this is the mortar job that was done by the contractor from the city to repair temporarily the bridge after my letter, coincidentally, to the mayor.
Now, of this, see, it's falling apart.
Yep, that's a mesh that's holding up the concrete from underneath. This bridge has to be over 100 years old. There's wood ties under there. There's some steel sister to the sides of a lot of the wood ties. This is a guardrail that was bent back into place after one of the many accidents that happened here.
It's not even attached to...
No, they didn't feel, I guess it was necessary. They dragged it out of the way with a backhoe long enough to be able to put in that riprap and to get in there with a backhoe to excavate the stream.
Okay, so they fixed this. What they did was create an environment in which now the water, when it comes off the hill, way up there, was supposed to go down that area right there, but it doesn't. As you can see, what it does is it follows the curving now, comes down here, and washes out the area where they dumped the rock to the area that they fixed. And now it has created this atrocity. It is now eroding along the stream bank, filling in this area here, and also going through the woods over here. No water, none, is going into this trench. They took 2 days and a lot of taxpayer money to create this trench. And as you can see, no water is going into this trench. It is running down the hillside into nothing here. Certainly never making it into the stream bank, but it certainly is running down the hill along the curbing, directed down the hill, and now running over into the other area. It's about height. In the wintertime, what's going to happen is this bridge is going to freeze over like a glass, worse than it's ever frozen before, and there are going to be cars in my yard and cars off the side of the road. And I think it'll be the city's fault. So, Mr. Mayor, this is what happens when people start digging areas where there's a lot of water and not talking to the people who live there and not paying attention to what the people who live there have to say about the small changes that can make big, big impacts.
You pulled somebody out of that creek before?
Oh, yes. And in fact, that's what brought the attention of the bridge a year and a half ago. This area, let me give you a little history on this area. This area, we average about 5-6 accidents every winter on that particular stretch of road. We've had some very serious to where telephone poles have been removed. My neighbors had 2 cars totaled in their driveway due to this situation. We've had people wind up inside the stream. But a year and a half ago, a young individual coming down the road hit the black ice that is a result of the sheeting water that you see. The guardrails weren't even on the bridge. They had been missing for 6 or so months. He spun around and wound up upside down in that stream, and the vehicle was submerged underwater.
And you had to go and save that young man?
At 1 o'clock in the morning, after hearing the crash, I showed up, wondering what the noise was, got out of my truck, fell because of the ice, called 911, and then climbed in the stream and attempted to rescue him.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, cold, icy, you left your house, left your family, risked your life to save a young man when the city could have fixed this problem a long time ago. And that problem still exists.
Yes.
That is pathetic.